that time again. T&MO off the grid.
Yeah, baby!
Okay, so what can I say? Ouch, we had a little fender bender and damaged the front fender on the vehicle. And I noticed in trying to do a little bit of a repair that this thing had some rust on it. So you know what? The best thing to do is get rid of it and just order a new fender. And I found a place online that was able to sell me a fender and paint it for me. So we'll talk a little bit more about them again. So what we've done is we've ordered that fender and it just arrived today. I did get it from Partify, by the way. And what we need to do is identify where all the bolts are. There's a couple in the door frames. These two here are 12 millimeters. Everything else is 10 millimeter. And there's some clips. I like to use a little tool like this, or you can use a hand gripper tool that'll pop up those little plastic clips to get some of those fender covers out of the way. You just dip them in there and pop them right out of the way. It's a real handy way to go. Then you can get into those bolts. Now, what you want to do is start with those 10 millimeter bolts that are on the top of the fender, and remove those, and then go into the inside the door and remove those. There's one up on top. Then in the very front where your bumper comes off, there's a little clip. You got to pull that bumper off and then remove that clip to get to a hidden bolt that's up underneath there. Don't know why they did that. And then along where the fender flares, in my case, were torn off, there's some bolts that are there. Those all got to come off, and we're going to want to keep those because when I put on those new fender flares, I'm going to want to use them. And then way underneath where you're going to get dirty, there's two bolts there. These are important because they help align everything so it doesn't damage the inside of your door. And then under the door, you're going to have to use your hands somehow, pull the extra pieces of trim and stuff out of that from behind the wheel wells up underneath. You're not going to see it. Just, I hope you're good with your fingers. Wiggle in there. That bolt comes out. It's 10 millimeters. And then at the very top, around the trim, around the windows, there is a bolt there. A lot of bolts. If you're not sure, look at your new fender and it'll show you where all the holes are. Then you just grab it with your fingers and give it a little tug. It should pop out nice and easy. And look at there. And it's not very big. It's not very heavy. This time is a good time to go through and clean things up underneath that fender. I put a little bit of wax on there, and also I sprayed some oil on those hinges, which is kind of hard to get to from the other side. Now, I'm taking a look at this new fender. Again, I got it from Partify online. It was real handy. They sell it to you. It's affordable, and for only $150 more, they paint it to match my color code, which is this beautiful sapphire blue pearl. So it slides right back in place. The alignment was real good. I like the holes. They lined right up where all the bolts are. You want to put it on, but take extra caution when you're doing that. This can get pinched and damaged. You want to make sure that everything's lined up nice when you put it in there. Don't tighten everything down. Just put the fender on, put in the bolts, and then start adjusting it to make sure all of your lines are lined up nicely. And when you do open and close doors, don't do it quickly. That's the front bolt. I like to do the front bolt first to bring it all forward to make sure I have plenty of space. And then it's okay, use a little plastic shims or plastic tools to scoot things forward so you have a nice, clean, straight line going all the way up. If you don't, when you open that door, you're going to knock off some paint. Then you put back your little trim pieces in there and make sure you, once everything's all aligned, you're going to want to tighten up all the bolts and just do it kind of in the reverse order. Then you got that little bracket. I cleaned this up a little bit. This is the one that, it's got these little clips right here that the bumper pops into place. So it's actually pretty handy. And then if you need to adjust the bumper in or out, you can see there's some arrows in there. Just a big screwdriver will give you some leverage on there as you tighten up that little screw at the very top. Then close the hood, check it up to make sure that everything lines up just perfect. Next thing you want to do is put on those fender flares. My fender flares were broke off. These are all garbage. So I replaced them with an upgraded version, kind of a smooth look, deep pocket fender flares. I got those from American Trucks. It came with the trim pieces. I got it all installed. There you go. I'd already done the other side, and now I did this side. Boy, it just looks like a brand new truck. I am so delighted with how it turned out. Next thing, I just need to put those Hemi stickers or those Hemi emblems back on. I'll probably use some 3M weather stripping adhesive. That'll go right on there and keep it on nice and permanent. For more off-grid projects, home and auto do-it-yourself projects, and survival tips, please subscribe to our channel, T&MO Off the Grid.
Yeah, baby!